Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be featuring some early rank battles. I think you got ranked 17, so not that early. From Lunch Money Lou, who's a legend player, rocking a pretty interesting team. I think it's Diggersby, Shadow Golurk, and Wigglytuff. Golurk and Wigglytuff both got buffed. Golurk got a significant buff with Shadow Punch, and Mudslap getting buffed. Wigglytuff getting a buff with cheaper Swift. I think Diggersby is actually the same, but Diggersby is quite strong in the current meta due to its typing, both offensively and defensively. All right, so we're going to see Diggersby into Dunsparce. Diggersby is very good neutrally with quick attack. It did get nerfed, I guess, because Mudshot got nerfed, so you don't really have that option anymore. It gets a huge attack fall, and Diggersby resists the rollouts. As you can see, the rollouts end up doing not very much, and these drill runs are debuffed, so this is actually really good. Looks like the opponent must be ABA weak to Diggersby, which means that they have something else weak in the back to Diggersby. And we're going to see a little bit of farm up. Going to throw on alignment there, doing 3. Ideally, we want to throw 4. But this Scorching Diggersby doesn't have a very high attack, so this might not even KO, so this might not matter. We'll see. It's going to be very close. No, it actually does not KO, so you're going to get the farm down. Very nice farm down. A little bit of extra energy. And, oh man, this is one of the problems with ABA ground is Azumarill is a little bit tough, but gets a huge attack fall, and that is fantastic. Gonna throw another Scorching thing. Was that on alignment there? I saw a bubble sneak there. Let's see if it gets another debuff. No debuff, but can you reach the move? Okay, able to reach the move, which is a Scorching Sand, which is fantastic. And this is going to put the Azumarill super low. And good thing one switch there, because that Toxapeck would absolutely annihilate Wigglytuff. So really well played there. I guess makes sense. Like Toxapeck is also weak to Diggersby, so that worked out pretty well for Lunch Money. Lunch Money picking up a fantastic lead. Ariados did get a buff, and we're gonna see Dugong coming in, which is a tricky Pokemon for this team to deal with. No real good answers to Dugong. Probably gonna switch to Wiggly. Does get the shield, but this is gonna be a little bit of a tricky situation. But the thing is that you don't really need to win switch, because Ariados doesn't do that well into Golurk as well, but does have Trailblaze, but would have very little fast move pressure. So likely I would see no shield here. I don't think this Icy Wind will KO. Actually, will end up shielding. Okay. Probably going to look to farm down, but not going to be able to. I think you let this go, right? You really don't need to win switch here. They actually choose to throw the drill run, does a little bit more damage, and going to look to quick attack down, and we're going to see what's going to come in. And it is the Greninja. This is a very tricky team for Lunch Money Lou to deal with, but that did a tremendous amount of damage. Probably going to let this go, I would assume. Going to let this go. Hydro Cannon does take it out. We'll see if it's able to make it. It's not able to make it to a move, and we are going to see. Ideally, you want to throw on odd numbers, 3 versus 2, since it is Poison Sting. But Lunch Money Lou was able to come back from a very tough backline. No clear answers to the Dugong, and then once Wigglytuff was gone, then it was going to be much more challenging here. So this is an interesting matchup here. It is a water type versus a ground type, but Diggersby has such a high stat product that this works out pretty okay for Diggersby, and gets the huge attack fall. Likely they go Earth Power, maybe Water Pulse, but that's pretty unlikely. They do throw the Earth Power, doesn't do very much damage, and no debuff on the opponent's side. And we are going to see kind of odd timing here by Lunch Money, but that's okay. Sometimes you need to throw off your opponent, and they end up shielding. I think you still no shield. Earth Power is not enough to KO. Diggersby gonna be able to make it to another Scorching Sand. Do not forget about Diggersby in this meta. And this is actually crazy here because that alignment is super nice. And we are going to see the switch out, and Talonflame Gonna be tricky for this team to deal with because it does have a lot of pressure here. But with a shield advantage, this should be okay. Probably gonna do 3 then throw, hopefully. One. Okay, just gonna do 1 and throw. That's okay. That's okay too. I think 3 and throw would have been nice because Golurk almost certainly wins CMP versus Talonflame. But now this Talonflame's gonna be able to. Oh no, actually choosing to try to farm down. They did definitely had another fly, but the Shadow Punch did get a buff and does a tremendous amount of damage. And there's not really too much this Goodra can do. Lunch money 3-0. Whose lunch money is Lou gonna take this time? Harris, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Interesting matchup. Obviously, this team's quite weak to Talonflame, but the Scorching Sand is only single resisted, so maybe this is not the worst. And does get the huge attack fall. And these quick attacks are neutral, right? So probably not going to shield this. They do throw the flame charge. That's quite all right. They will make it to another one here. I think you still let it go. We'll definitely be able to survive it. Okay, gonna shield. 2 then throw, hopefully. Okay, does do 2 and throw. And we will see what the opponent is going to do, whether or not they're going to let it go. They do end up shielding. And gonna be able to reach another Scorching Sand. We'll see whether or not the opponent chooses shield. They do choose the shield, gets the huge attack drop. That's actually pretty influential. Probably going to let this go and then look to Mudslap down. We see the flame charge. These flame charges are going to hurt quite a bit. Going to have to shield this. It would almost certainly send Golurk back to the grave. And we are going to see this is a very tricky Pokemon to deal with, but with Dynamic Punch, this will almost certainly take out the Ferrothorn, and that is absolutely crazy here. And we see Drapion come in. Looks like that was thrown on, like, okay, let's see. It was alignment there. That's weird because he had 3 there. Maybe it's Aqua Tail and it lagged 1 turn. That is very fortunate, but I think Lunch Money would have won without the Shadow Punch anyways. But they definitely should have got the Aqua Tail first, but they must have lagged coming in. And this AVA ground is, digging some graves here. Going against Magic Mason here. Very strong battler. And we see Diggersby picking up a pretty interesting matchup. Like, Feraligatr does have the offensive typing advantage, but defensively, double resisting these Shadow Claws is very nice here. And gonna throw the Scorching Sand. We will see whether or not this Feraligatr will respect it. It does respect it. And we are gonna see a shield come up. Really wants to chip away at this Feraligatr. We'll see what the opponent does here. They will throw another Scorching Sand. This is probably not enough to, this is almost certainly not enough to KO the Feraligatr. And we're gonna see a catch onto Wigglytuff. Very interesting catch. I guess this is like the, oh my gosh, the opponent deciding to, okay, interesting. They didn't want to be locked in or something. I'm not quite sure there. That was kind of weird. They do throw the Ice Punch. Maybe they lagged. Do you go Golurk here and 1 shield farm down? Or do you go Diggersby here and sack it? Gonna go Diggersby. Gonna make it 2. Oh, this CMP tie. Do you let this go? Or do you shield? Gonna shield. Thinking that this is a little bit too much to deal with. Actually wasn't CMP because I got the Powder Snow through. We'll see if they choose a shield. Okay. Oh, what? That was very confusing. Why didn't the opponent choose to throw there? That was very confusing there. They almost certainly lagged, right? And that is GG. Almost certainly would have lost there because the is that right? Am I looking at it right? Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me just rewatch this here. Yeah, it should have got the move off, right? Because the 4 Mudslaps wasn't taking out. Lunch Money probably actually should have not shielded the. Well, actually, I don't know. Then the Aqua Tail would have killed the Crunch. It would have been a very difficult matchup there. So, but anyways, Lunch Money picking up the 5-0. Sometimes you win because you have the superior team and superior gameplay, and sometimes you win because Niantic likes you better. So, anyways, very nice set. Congratulations, Lunch Money, on the Fantastic set, and a very fun team. Thank you for sending these battles. If you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.